Her blood sprayed perfectly pooling on the perfect tile floor. I closed my eyes momentarily and felt the still warm blood splatter across my face and neck. It had all been so easy, and now she was gone. I looked down at the scene in front of me. It hadn't been clean, despite my meticulous planning. In a twisted way, she looked most beautiful, spread across the floor of the kitchen, the blood pooling around a small wound in her skull. The blood was darker than I imagined it would be. Her eyes still and lifeless, skin already losing the shine that made her so attractive to me when she was alive. But she was no longer attractive now. She was a work of art, and I was the artist of this exquisite piece. I looked down at my wrench in my hand, taken from the shed in the back garden. I felt it suddenly become heavy in my hands, guilt creeping into the dark corners of my head, whispering and sniggering.
Just run away now. Look at what you've got. Turn yourself in. Don't turn yourself in before you kill anyone again. Look at what you've got yourself in. Just run away. Turn yourself in. Do it now before you kill anyone again.
There was only one thing worse than requited love, and that was regret. And that's what I was feeling now. Well, it was pretty damn close to regret. It sounded so simple in my head, that anger consuming my mind, but I forgot the most important part of it all. I had loved her, and now I felt anger at myself. Maybe I should call the police, turn myself in. No, not yet. The guilt in the darkest corners of my head. Oh, I need a cigarette. I stepped out of the back door into the garden. I lit the cigarette, hands shaking, and took a long drag. The voice in my head took on an almost mocking tone. Nice work, genius. The voice resounded off the inside of my skull, so loud I was surprised none of the neighbours came to their windows. Curtains being drawn in the act of neighbourhood espionage. I could feel the dull thudding of my heart against my chest as I finished the cigarette. I realised I was still carrying the bloody wrench in a white-knuckled vice-like grip. I don't know why, but I then looked at it accusingly and opened the back door, stepping inside. Then it hit me, the stench, the smell of death. But to my surprise, she was sitting up perfectly calm, eyes opened, the bloody wound in her head clearly visible.
I guess I'm gonna have to call in sick tomorrow. Eh, Ryan?
I shook my head again, trying to get rid of her. But when I opened my eyes, she was still there, large as life.
What the fuck?
I really didn't expect this. I hope you're proud of yourself, Ryan. You've really screwed it up this time. I hope you don't think I'm gonna take you back now, because it's just not gonna happen.
There was a hint of anger in her voice. I felt uncomfortable. Sorry. My mind is now going into overdrive. What's happening? Sorry. She frowned disapprovingly.
Don't give me that. Sorry isn't gonna bring me back to life, is it? No, it's not. You really messed it all up. You're such a dickhead sometimes.
My temper snapped. I lunged forwards, bringing the wrench up again to strike her, with an almost animalistic growl escaping from between my teeth.
You bits of clean dirt!
I swung hard, hitting hard once, twice, many times, a scream erupting from my lungs, until eventually I stopped, my chest heavy, and then I looked down at her. She wasn't art anymore. She was a bloody mess. I let the wrench fall from between my aching fingers and looked down.
Sorry.
Then there it was, a sound worse than anything the voice in my head could produce. It was a knock at the front door.